So the last session we discussed about configuring DHCP. So DHCP basically we used to install for distributing IP address on a network, and with the help of DHCP, we can confirm, try to configure IP address to all the devices. So IP plays very important role. So whoever wants to be a part of a network, compulsory we need to have IP. So instead of giving IP address manually on a network, instead of manually set up each and every device uh, IP, so you can configure a DHCP server on the top of network, and the DHCP automatically provides the IP address within a fraction of a second. Okay. So one of the concepts today I'm going to show you. So this is our domain controller, and as well as this is also my DHCP. And on the network you have a client. So this client getting IP address over the network with the help of DHCP. So always like we have a situation. Now what will happen if your DHCP die or DHCP failed? So normally we never have issue like we cannot say the machine is going to fail, the device is going to be disconnected on the network. Why? Because before something happens, we have anything. So you cannot say like your main server failed. Okay? But instead of that, let's say suppose sometime the main problem that you see in Windows. So whenever you get any updates, so update doesn't mean like you restart your machine for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes like server takes a lot of time to come up. Okay. So maybe let's say my server is got update and I already installed and my server restarted. Okay. So when the till the server came to the network, so how your client is going to communicate, how the client is going to get the IP. So what will happen here? So DHCP maybe gives somebody like 20, somebody like 21, somebody we have like 22. Okay. So after some time, if your DHCP is going to fail, so what will happen here? So this machine is going to generate one APIPA address, and that APIPA address does not help your machine to able to communicate on the network. Okay. But remember, it never happened like all the server is going to fail. But sometimes as I told you, whenever you use a Windows operating system, so maximum we have a problem for whenever you get any updates or sometime like when you restart, when you shut down, in that time you may have certain problems. Okay. So now what actually we are going to do, even though if my DHCP is running on a network, even though it's not running, but I want the client, whatever available on network, they should get IP address so that I don't have issue on network to distribute IP. So in this situation, what we are going to do on this network, now we are going to configure one more DHCP server. Okay. So I'm going to purchase another server. On the top of server again, so I'll be installing again 2016 server, and here I'll be installing a service we call as DHCP. So this DHCP we are installing for a failover. Okay, that means whenever something happens to this DHCP, then only we will be having the concept of this DHCP server. So that means we'll be using for high availability. Okay, even though something happens, again we also have this DHCP who can able to distribute IP, so that in my network I don't have any issue for providing IPs, as well as we never get any issue like the machine is not going to communicate, the machine is not going to participate on a network. So instead of this, now the IP will be given by another DHCP. So this concept we call as a DHCP failover. Okay. So before DHCP fails, we need to configure this concept. So scenario, the main DHCP have already given IP address like 10.1.1, subnet mask 255.0.0.0. This is our DHCP IP address. As well as here, we also use DNS 10.1.1.1. This is our main DHCP. This is the master. Okay. Now, the second DHCP which I'm going to use in my network. So here, I'll be giving IP address So this machine also requires a static IP. Okay. So what IP we use? So okay, let me use IP address 10.1.1.2 and subnet mask 255.0.0.0 and DNS we have to keep according to our server. Okay. So DNS will be 10.1.1.1. Okay. So here this machine first will be joining to our domain. Okay. So right now the domain which we have here, the name of our domain is onlinemcse.com. So on the top of online MCSE, we have already our domain controller. We are adding another server, and that server, whatever the name you want, you can put it. So this machine we need to join to our domain, and after joining, we are going to configure this service and we configure a DHCP failover so that even though your DHCP failed, now you don't have issue on the network. Okay. So how we can do this? Let's see. So this is my main DHCP server. So we have a domain online MCSE. So let's see first of all what is this server. So the name of this DHCP, which I already installed, the name of the DHCP server is DC1. And here you can see when you open Server Manager, we already have DHCP. And DHCP not only installed, we also configured. Configured means we already authorized. And this DHCP already given IP address to my network. So how many IP given by DHCP, you can see in your server scope. So when you see your address listed, so till now like DHCP has given this many IP. Okay. So up to here we have done, and even like we also discussed about like reservation. We already discussed like what is address pool. So what is my aim here? Now, right now the DHCP which I installed, the DHCP which is running on a network, what will happen if this is going to be failed? Okay. So and on the network I also have a client. And let me see like what is the IP of this computer. If you write IP config/all, you may have a lot of information here. So right now you can see again the computer got IP from my VMware adapter. You can go ahead, disable that. So IP config/release IP config/renew. Now this computer got IP address like 10.1.1.30, but whom which server has given this? Is it given by DC1 or is it given, so which DHCP server has given? So right now I have only one DHCP. So now what I can do, I can write ipconfig/all to show you like who has given this IP, who is the DHCP server. So the IP address given by a DHCP and the IP address of DHCP is 10.1.1.1. You can see that. So this is the DHCP who has given the IP of to this machine. What IP? The IP of the computer is 10.1.1.30. Okay. Now what is my aim? Now what will happen if the DHCP is going to be failed? So before DHCP failed, now let's try to configure another DHCP server on a network. Okay. So for this is my main. I have another server. So what I have done, just I install only operating system. If I go to properties, you can see this is 2016. Even this machine, it is not a part of a domain. Right now, this is in workgroup, and this machine by default we call it as it is a standalone server. Okay. So here we are not installing direct AD, so we don't require that. So here, first what we need to do, you have to configure IP address. ncpa.cpl. Try to give IP. So according to my scenario, I'll be giving IP address to. So 10.1.1.1, this is my main server IP. So this machine, I want to make it as member server so that I'm going to configure the backup of DHCP. To make a member server client, both are same. Only the difference is client, we have only the Windows 10 operating system, whereas member server means here we'll be having server operating system. But the method is same, like the way you make client, the same we can make the member server. So here, I'll be giving the name of this machine is DHCP, DHCP2. I'll say a domain like online, mcc.com. Then it will ask you like, who are you? So I have to give a name as administrator, password. So now this machine will become a part of my domain. So restart, then login, and you have to install another one more DHCP here. So login as your domain admin. Now this machine becomes the part of your domain. So here login as your domain admin. So online mcsc slash administrator password. So here we are installing DHCP. How to install DHCP? Same method like the last time, the way you install from server manager. Same method we use to install the DHCP here. So on second DHCP, no need to do anything. Just you have to install the DHCP and authorize, and everything we do from our main DHCP. Open your server manager. So this is a server manager. So one more time I'll show you like where I'm sitting. So this will be our second DHCP, DHCP2, and we already have a DHCP1. So this is my DHCP2, which is same domain, online MCSC. And if I so this is my first DHCP where I already configure everything. Okay. So here what we need to do, you need to open the server manager and you have to click add roles and feature and install DHCP here. Role based and feature based. And right now I'm installing on DHCP2.online MCSC. and the IP is 10.1.1.2, and here put checkmark to DHCP. Install. Now, once installed, the second step here you have to authorize. So whenever you want to use a DHCP in your network, you need to authorize compulsory. Okay. So for authorize, you have to click complete this configuration. Then you can go next and commit. Okay. So now we have two DHCP servers. I close it. I can open here. So we'll be having two DHCP server. One of the DHCP we have DC1, and second DHCP name itself we have given DHCP2. Okay. So right now you can see nothing is available here. Okay. And here no need to make a scope and no need to configure again the same range here. So on the second DHCP, only you have to install and you have to authorize. Only this is the practical. Okay. Everything we do from our main server. So now what I do, I'll go to my main server. This is my main server DC1. See, this is my DC1. So here what I do, now the scope which I created, I simply right click in my scope, and here we have one option, configure failover. You have to click this. So here it's saying like what is failover. So DHCP failover enable high availability of DHCP services by synchronizing IP address release information between two DHCP servers. DHCP failover also provide a load balancing of DHCP requests. Okay. Now, if you have two DHCP in your network, what will happen? Now I can decide like how many IP you want this DHCP give and how many IP you want this DHCP give. So we can do the balancing. Okay. Let's say I have 200 IP. Okay. So from 200, how many IP you want the first DHCP assigned and how many IP you want the second DHCP assigned. We can do the balancing. Okay. So this is a guide you through a setup of a DHCP failover. Select from the list like what kind of scope. So we already have a scope here, 10 network. Next, and he's asking like with whom you want to make a failover. You have to use the IP or the name of a second DHCP. So this DC1 is the name of my master. This is the main DHCP server. Now, who is your failover? So here I'll be giving IP address of my second DHCP, or from here also you can say add, no problem. Add, browse. From here, you can select the second DHCP. So the name of my second DHCP like. So either you can put name or you can put IP address. So automatically taken the IP address 10.1.1.2. Next. So now it's asking like before you make a relation of failover. So here you can see, as I told you, this is not only for distributing IPs, even it is also for like load balance. Okay. So local server means DC1, partner server means DHCP2. So how many IP you want your DC1 give and how many IP you want DHCP2 give. So by default, we have 50-50%. 50% like let's say if 200 IP, so from 200, 100 IP will be given by first DHCP. Next 100 will be given by second DHCP. Okay. So in your requirement, whatever you have, you can give. So here I'll say first DHCP I want 70% of IP, and the second DHCP it will give only 30% of IP. Okay. And here you have to make one shared key. So you have to just click next. Finish. Everything is okay. Close. So once you configure DHCP failover, now you can go to the second DHCP. I open here and I just refresh. So automatically you see the same copy information available here. So right now you cannot able to understand now who is the master and who is the secondary. Okay. So here also we have the same address in information, whatever information we have on the first DHCP, but because both are same. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my first DHCP. So removing is nothing but just I remove the LAN card. So I disconnect this connectivity. So when you disconnect, now we can see the connection is disconnected here. You can see here the connection is disconnected. So one more time I'll go to my client. See, right now my first DHCP is not available, maybe restarted or maybe shut down instead. So now I'll go to my client. So previously like I got the IP from like DHCP1. So now what I do, one more time I'll write a command like ipconfig/release. Release means right now whatever IP I'm using, I release that IP and again I'll request to DHCP to get a new IP. So one more time I use the command ipconfig/renew. So this time again the machine broadcast, the broadcast packet sent to multiple, but still you can see I got the same IP. Why? Because that IP is reserved. We reserved yesterday. So on the last session, like we already reserved this IP. But now who has given this IP? Even though my server is not available, the server is disconnected, but who has given this IP? Now if I write ipconfig/all, so here we come to know the address given by DHCP2. Okay, so 10.1.1.2, now that server comes to the picture and that server is giving IP address. Even though if I power on another virtual machine, let's say I open one more client, power on. Now we got another client. So here also what I do, I simply go command from, I write ipconfig/, okay, first I can write like ipconfig. So the machine got 13. But this IP given by whom? ipconfig/all. So this IP given by, again you can see, to us. So that IP address given by a second DHCP. No need to do anything. The complete process in background is automatic. So now, again, I will connect to my network. Now, the last question here, like how yesterday, like we configure some range of IP. Okay. So sometime on the network, you may get error. The client, the client wants to get IP. So this is my DHCP server, and you have a suppose client. Okay. So this machine, I select obtain IP address, and here I'm getting error like I'm not getting IP address. Okay. So sometimes like you may even have a problem. Whatever the range you have given, sometimes the range may be full. Okay. So maybe I have given range of 200 IP, or I have given a range of 100 IP. So the DHCP has given all the IPs of range. Okay. So first of all, how you can say like how many IP till now DHCP has given? Okay, what is the percentage? So what you can do? So we can right click on scope, and here we have something called display statistics. If you click this, what it will do? Now it will show you the list till now how many IP given by DHCP, So total number of IP available here, how many? 239 means almost like 240 IPs we have. Apart from 240, only 4 IP is given on network, and still like 235 IP is free. And how many scopes? To see the scope information, you can right click on your IPv4. So here we have more details. Okay. So here you can see. So total number of available is 231, 239, and 4 IP given. And right now 235 IP is still available. How many scopes created? There is only one scope. And how many times your DSCP offer, how many times you get a request. Okay. So even you can also have the information here. Acknowledge. Okay. So your DSCP got requested 736 from yesterday. Okay. And acknowledge to 731. Decline? No, we don't have any decline time. Okay. So startup time, everything you can see here. Okay. Now the next thing, sometime if you if your scope is full. So right now you can see this is a complete IT. So I have given range from 10.11 to 10.11 to 50. Maybe in case if your range full, so how you can update? So you can right click on the properties of your DSCP scope, and from here you can update. Okay. Now instead of one, maybe I'll set two. Even I can change the validity also. I'll say apply and okay. Now again, if I see like how many IP is given by DSCP, so now I have total IP of like 491, only 4 IP given. Okay. So like this, you can see the complete information, how many IP given by DSCP and how many IP is going to be expired. Okay. So that information will be available. Okay. So this is called a DSCP failure. So on the second DSCP, here we are not doing anything. Why? Because this is just only the server available for the load balance. If something happens to your main server, then only the picture will come for you. So understand today's session. So this is our DSCP failover. Hope you understand.